know, from the first video, I realized, you know, shit I got working on. Not touching my face so goddamn much and rubbing up my face and shit. You know, it's like one of the things when you put the camera on, you don't know what to do with your hands. And I'm not driving for real. Like if you see, like, you know, if it look like I'm passing by stuff in the window or something like that, like if you can see it, I'm in a driving simulator. I'm not driving for real. I'm in this AI thing, you know, test driving. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you hear stuff, it's just a simulator. You know, I'm practicing. I'm driving. This is driving practice. But yeah, man, it was like, but another reason I wanted to start making content. And which my content really not gonna be like this, where I'm talking, you know, to the screen. If I do anything, I don't know. It might be, you know, I might do both. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna start posting. I'm gonna see if I can get to this motherfucking money shit. But anyway, the only thing I don't know if I'm gonna have to start a new page. That's the only irritating part because, man, I done fucked my page up so much. Instagram, especially on Instagram. I don't know, I don't think it's on Facebook. But Instagram, with all the shit that I be sharing in the stories and shit, for some reason, I don't know what it is about the stories. They do not like you posting or sharing controversial shit, you know what I'm saying? So every time I post those police unjust killings and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And just some crazy fight that I thought was funny or whatever, just something from somebody else's page I thought was funny, and I just shared in my story, because I'm thinking in my mind is like the story is for like people that you know, like people that you know, that people who actually follow you, like, you know what I'm saying, your little circle or whatever the case may be, and you know, you just sharing this and you seeing it, you know what I'm saying, because I see, like, if we friends, especially if we social media friends or something, I'm probably I'll periodically send you 10, 15 goddamn reels in the course of 30 seconds, you know what I'm saying? And so, but then to alleviate that, sometimes I just put it in the story. And so, you know what I'm saying, where I ain't just boring people shit, you know what I'm saying, all the goddamn time. Because I know I ain't the only one. I know it's somebody else doing it. So I try to do it in spurts, 3, 4 videos, maybe 5, and then the rest of it you can just see in the story. You know what I'm saying? That's what I be doing. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Another reason why I wanted to do videos is because I ain't gonna lie. I've been seeing a lot of videos from a lot of car content guys. And I'm just be straight up honest. These niggas ain't valid to be having the points or the perspectives that they be having when it comes to making their car content videos. You got dudes out here making car content videos about building motors, performance upgrades on cars, telling you what you should do to your car to get more power, telling you what's available for your car for more power, and these niggas ain't built nothing. Like, they ain't built nothing. They ain't built a car. They ain't built a truck. They ain't built a van. They ain't built a lowrider. They ain't built a tuner car. They ain't built a hot rod. They haven't restored a car. They ain't built a dunk. They ain't built a glass house. They ain't built nothing. And they'll sit up here and make videos. I just see these videos constantly, these dudes, man, it's like, dude, you ain't built nothing. Like, these niggas ain't put no car together. They ain't put no motor together. How can you tell me how to put a motor together if you ain't never put a motor together? If you ain't never put a motor together, how can you tell me how much nitrous I'm supposed to have if you ain't never put nitrous on the car, if you ain't never had a ran nitrous? How can you tell me how I should put, or recommend me what companies I should go with, or what products I should use, or how I should set it up, or how I should time my car, and you ain't never done it? You know what I'm saying? I've been around this car shit my whole goddamn life. And you can sit up there and you can go and buy the most popular setups that everybody else is talking about you should buy, and your experience is gonna be different. You're not gonna have necessarily the same experience that everybody else has, because a lot of this shit, when it comes to like I'm gonna keep it at the car shit. I'm gonna keep it with the car shit. I'm gonna keep it with the motor building. With a lot of this shit with this motor building, you could go and buy the same thing that everybody else bought. Whatever's popular right now, like whatever setup that's the most popular setup, whatever cam, lifters, springs, turbos, superchargers, 6.0s, 5.3s, 6.2s, whatever, you could go and get whatever motherfucking motor that is popular right now. And you are gonna have a different experience with that than everybody else. Because at the end of it, nobody has the same goddamn experience. And so when I watch these dudes tell these goddamn stories and they tell you, oh, you should get this, you should get that, you should get that. How you know? How you know? How do you know? Because you ain't never built nothing. You ain't been in no shop. You ain't never been in no shopping scene. Like these dudes haven't even been in the shop to see this stuff get built. They haven't been in the track to see a car perform with whatever was just done to it, to see how it affected the car. These dudes, all they doing is going in, whether it be social media groups or watching a video or watching videos from real shops and real builders and them telling you what cam to get, what lifters to get, what setup to get, what converter to get, and all this other kind of stuff like that. They go on these pages and then they'll go make a social media video and say whatever it is that they want to say. Okay, cool. But you ain't never built shit. But then I keep coming across people that be like, man, I was watching so-and-so videos and he was saying that if you got this motor, you should get this cam and this and this and this. And it's like, that nigga ain't got that. Like, that nigga ain't never had that. That nigga ain't even, what is you talking about? Like, that nigga you ain't never seen these motherfuckers with nothing. These people telling you what car you should buy, why you should buy a car, what car not to buy, why you shouldn't buy this car, and they ain't never had nothing. Like, it's too many of these motherfuckers it's too many of these niggas making content pages about a lifestyle and a culture that they ain't never experienced. You ain't never experienced it. And so, and it's like, and at the end of the day, yeah, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. But everybody's opinion don't matter. Like people always say, you got so many different sayings for that, like, opinions like assholes, everybody got one. Ice Cube recently said, everybody got an opinion and they usually stink. You know, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got an opinion and they usually stink, something like that, he said. And it's like, everybody has an opinion, but for sure. But your opinion don't matter, man. Your opinion don't matter. Your opinion don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. You can be a boxer, and you could be the baddest boxer in your fucking backyard. And if you ain't never competed, your opinion don't mean shit. If you ain't never went to the gym and worked out, if you ain't never went to the gym and worked out, and you ain't never went to the gym and sparred with nobody, you ain't signed up for no competition or nothing, you ain't win nothing, you ain't did nothing, your opinion do not matter. Yeah, you got an opinion, but your opinion don't fucking matter. It don't matter. You could be in the football. You could be in football. You could be in the football. You could play good in your goddamn backyard. You grew up playing backyard football. You know, you grew up playing football in the front yard. You grew up playing football in the apartments. But if you ain't played football in junior high, high school, junior high, high school, college, your opinion don't matter. Whatever you talking about don't matter. If you ain't went to the pros, your opinion don't matter. It doesn't matter. It don't matter if you run faster than a motherfucker. It don't matter if you could block harder than a motherfucker basketball, same way. You could go to the park by yourself, shoot threes all day. But if you ain't played basketball in junior high, basketball in high school, basketball in college. Your opinion don't matter. Don't nobody give a fuck, because this is what I've always noticed about football and basketball sports in general. When you start talking about it in a setting with people that don't know you, and you just start talking about football, basketball, whatever, you give me your opinion, More times than not, in every situation where I've sat there and just watched people have this ongoing argument about sports and shit, when a motherfucker comes in this room that they don't nobody know and starts giving opinions, the first thing somewhere in that early in that conversation, they gonna ask him, did he play college football? And if he say no, and what they expect him to say, well, I played in high school. If he say no and don't say nothing, then they gonna say, well, did you play in high school? Oh no, I ain't played in high school. I played a little bit of junior high, or I played Pee Wee football. Then they gonna be like, oh, okay, then they not. That's at that moment, they've just put your opinion in a category over here with this nigga don't know what the fuck he talking about category. The only people who opinions that when it comes to football, the only people who opinions really matter in football sports is people who either play high school, college, and play high school, college, or went to the pros. Them the only three opinions that really matter when it comes to football. In today's time, high school, college, pros. That's it. You had to play in one of them three to have an opinion that people really give a fuck about. Because I done seen situations where people didn't play none of it and have an opinion, and the people in the room know that they didn't play. Their opinion is always discarded, always disrespected, always just shunned in some type of way. In this card game, it's the same way. You can't come in this culture talking this shit, having your chest out, giving your opinion, talking about what a dude should have, what he shouldn't have. He should have ran with gold spokes. He should have put offsets. He should have ran with Forgiatos. Why he got them Ruches on his car? Why instead of 22s, he should have been on 24? Why he ain't got 6s? Oh, he ran nitrous. He should have ran turbo. Well, he ran turbo. He could have got just as much power with a supercharger. You know, all that kind of stuff like that. What did you build? So it's like the first thing, what you build? Well, I didn't build nothing. I ain't never had a car. I ain't never had nothing more than the 350s. Then what is you talking about? What is you talking about? You can't come in this game thinking that you just finna have this opinion about what we doing and what we got going on, and you ain't did nothing. It don't work like that. In my world, in my opinion, my opinion, it don't. But you know why I got an opinion? Because I done built cars. I done built cars for myself. I done built cars for people. I done built a car from ground up. I done took a car completely apart and put that motherfucker back together 10 times better than what it was, more than once. You know what I'm saying? I done fixed other people's problems. I done fixed other people's mistakes. I done sit up and I done did all kinds. I done fucked up. Had to fix my fuck ups, or fucked up but didn't get a chance to fix it and had to see the shit go to somebody else and let somebody else fix it and shit. I done been in all them type of shoes before. I done had good times, I done had bad times. I done had good experience, I done had bad experience. I done had good ideas, I done had bad ideas. I done seen shit through, I got shit that I didn't see through. So it's like, I got an opinion. I'm not sitting up there saying I'm the best of the best, but I got a different level of understanding. I'm not gonna sit up here and jump on here and talk like I'm a Chip Foose or like a Kendig or something like that. But I got experience. I got experience from what I got going from the shit that I've done. I just ain't a dude who just been sitting on a porch this whole time and just watching. You know what I'm saying? I've been riding cars consistently since 97. And before that, I was building bikes. So when I was a kid, when I was early as fucking 10, I was building bikes, whether it was a BMX bike or a lowrider bike. I'm building one or the other. Then on top of that, I was building motor cars. So it's like I was a motor car kid, I was a BMX bike kid, I was a lowrider bike kid. So I done built lowrider bikes, I done helped my friends build lowrider bikes. I done sit up there and I just did, a lot. The only thing I didn't experience a lot of was the shows. Coming up, I really wasn't going to a lot of shows. And because nobody actually around me, like in my family or the people who would be able to take me to that kind of stuff, they really wasn't into that stuff. Nobody was really into that. So it's like I was the only person in my family that was into the cars the way I was into cars. You know what I'm saying? I had people in the family that just like cars, or they'd do a little bit to a car, but they wasn't on nowhere. Well, we finna build this and take it to a show. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had that experience, but it's like, I'm a magazine kid. Shit, grew up since 88 buying lowrider magazines, and then it went from lowrider magazines to trucking magazines to it went from lowrider magazines to trucking magazines to what was all it was just a lot. You had lowrider magazine, you had lowrider magazine, lowriding magazine. You had all these that's what I take that back. You had all these lowriding magazines because he spelled with ING at the end. You had Street Scene. You had then it would be these offshoot random lowrider magazines that would have a whole nother name, but it was a lowrider magazine, but it wasn't the brand lowrider is what I'm trying to point out specifically, but it would be a lowrider magazine. So you had other ones that might have had a few issues that came out and they just didn't last long. And so, but the main three in Texas that we had access to was lowrider, low oilies, low riding, and Street Scene. Them was the main three that you got. Now 2000s you had some come that I don't remember them motherfuckers' names. Cause you had Texas Scene, but I think that was a mix of custom cars. But it had a lot of lowriders in it because the people who was really trying to push it was in the lowriders, but they showed some of everything that was going on in Texas. You had that magazine. Then you had trucking. You had street trucks. You had trucking, street trucks, sport trucks, C10. You had mini trucks, and I think it was only one mini trucking magazine. Like I don't think it was no other magazines that represented mini trucks the way mini truck did. But although you had mini trucks in trucking and in sport truck, but and then trucking. But I bought all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I feel like a way that I have when it comes to the car culture. I have an opinion. I feel like my opinion is more valid than some of these dudes that makes car content. I ain't gonna name names because in all honesty, I don't have any problems with the individuals. It's just that I don't like when people who are not a part of the culture report on the culture or try to create a narrative for the culture. Because I don't believe that you could come into a culture and just be watching. I don't give a fuck how many years you watch. I don't believe that you could come into a culture and just watch and then come and give your opinion about it. You know what I'm saying? And say in the aspect of trying to be a historian and tell the history about it, or give you an opinion, or say how you think shit should go. Because the reason why I feel that way is because any culture, it don't matter what it is, how significant it is, how important it is, whether it's unimportant or not. In my opinion, they all have rules and guidelines and an image that they represent, and it all is a collective. It all comes from shit that they had to endure. And so, whatever they had to endure, going through whatever it was as a culture, they have an understanding of one another. They have a connection to one another, even if they don't know each other. And so, a person who's not of the culture can't come, and I ain't talking about black and white and all that, can't come and tell you or report on a culture from a historian aspect or from an aspect of giving your opinion on how shit should go, and you're not a part of that culture. You just watching it. You on the outside looking in. You on the outside looking in. You can't give an opinion. Your opinion is not valid. It's not fucking valid. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. And so it's like. So that's the reason why I'm like, man, I got it. So I've been pushing myself, like trying to be like, man, I gotta create content, bro. I gotta do something. No matter where it go or how it go, I just gotta do it. It's like, yeah, I want to get to the money. Yeah, I want $1. Yeah, all that kind of shit like that. But then also too is, I've been a part of this core culture my whole life. I'm embedded. My life, I feel like I'm just embedded in the core culture because it's been a part of my life my whole life. It's never been a time where I wasn't doing something with a car, to a car, for a car, getting ready to do, or not having a car. Like I've always had a car, even if that motherfucker was on jack stands, and I've always had something. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I went through the struggles of saving up. I went through the struggles of being on a budget. I went through all this other kind of shit like that, learning, trying to figure shit out, doing research, all this other kind of stuff, building stuff, making shit work, figuring out how to get shit work, and trying to figure shit out for other motherfuckers, being on the phone with people for an hour, trying to figure out an electrical issue to make something work that's not even supposed to go together. And, and I've been there, like I've done that, and so it's like, I just got a different, I feel like my opinion and people like me, like our opinions is different and more valid. Like I just don't feel like if you've never owned, I don't feel like a dude that's been sitting on a bitch's opinion is fucking valid. I do not feel like your opinion matters. I do not feel like your opinion is yeah, you got an opinion. Everybody got an opinion. We can't deny your opinion. But your opinion don't motherfucking matter. The reason why it's like I can go on and on about shit like this. Like the aspect of the reason why like niggas don't ride our routes. Reason why niggas stop riding Dayton's back in the day or Wild Wheels at one point in time. The reason why certain fads in the car game come and go is because of people who done heard lately in the last 10, 15 years. It's been because of people that's on the bench that ain't never had shit, ain't never built shit, giving their opinion. Why you think every single car that's being built in the hood now looks like a restored car with rims on it and it ain't really customized? Because a bunch of nerd niggas with opinions jumped on social media and started telling people shit didn't look good. Oh, that fiberglass, that don't look good. Oh, that don't look good. That don't look good. And all this other kind of shit like that. And then the other niggas started coming, they looking at this shit. Oh, that shit ain't in no more. And it's like, it's all because of some dude that's a fucking nobody that ain't never built nothing. And he's just sitting there, that shit don't look good. It's like, okay, it don't look good to you, but this is what niggas doing. Them motherfucking theme cars. It's like motherfuckers didn't like, I didn't like the theme cars, but I was like, whatever. If that's what a dude did, that's what a dude did. I really wasn't tripping on it like that. These niggas, man, I don't like theme cars. Like, that shit's ghetto. That shit don't look like that. And it was always dudes. Every time back in the day when I would look at those comments, or whether I knew the person or not, or if I went to the page to check it out, it would always be a dude that don't have nothing. They ain't never built nothing. But people be like, man, that sure don't look good. And so then it moves to a point to where people feel like the car damn near has to be factory. And then just put some nice rims on it, set nice hours. You set a certain type of way, all this other kind of shit like that. And that's really never the culture was about. Like the core culture was custom. It was about being custom. It was about being out the box. It was about pushing the limit as far as you could go to represent yourself, who you was. You see the last nigga do something, and you, depending on what you was doing, if you was a competitive type of person, you trying to outdo the last nigga. It's like, okay, the last nigga came with this, okay, I'm gonna hit him with this. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was. And so now it's like, if you don't do it like this, your shit ain't clean. If you ain't riding like this, riding these rims, your shit ain't clean. That's kind of what it done turned to now. And it just doesn't make no sense. It's just, you know, it's just redundant. And it's all for people who never built shit. You know what I'm saying? Never built shit, never been. You got people that be commenting about like the car scene, like the car meets. The car meets or drag racing, you know what I'm saying, street racing and all that kind of stuff, like, and they've never drag raced. They've never been to a car meet. You got people commenting about takeovers. They've never been to a takeover. And it's like, and these dudes, they come out, they be wanting to disown the niggas at the takeovers. And it's kind of like, you can say that they not car culture all day, but shit, the motherfuckers is in a motherfucking car, they doing motherfucking donuts and all that kind of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to a degree or to an aspect, it's kind of, you got to kind of look at it a certain way, because it's like because this is what people don't realize. This is what people don't realize. In the car culture, in the car world, the car custom, see, people feel like that every aspect of the car culture is supposed to be accepted. That's how people feel now. And that's my issue. That's one of my issues with the people who talk about or try to have an opinion about the car culture today, because they don't know the shit that a lot of us had to go through. You know what I'm saying? It's like the car, customizing a car was frowned upon at one time. It was frowned upon, like, at one point in time. Like, all that shit we be doing, like, just the modification of a car, period, it was frowned upon at one time. You can go all the way back to the 50s. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even the 40s, but I know for sure the 50s, when they first started really customizing cars. You know what I'm saying? They slamming these cars to the ground, pulling fenders off, switching motors, putting big motors in cars, chopping roofs off cars, doing all these different things to these cars and shit, and it was frowned upon. The society didn't like the shit. In society, they would make laws. That's the reason why you had the 2 low laws out in California and shit. That's the reason why you got laws for just certain shit pertaining to custom modifying a car, because the society didn't accept that shit. You was an outcast. Like, why are you doing that to that car? Like, why are you taking those fenders off of that car? Why are you putting them big wheels, them big wide tires in the back and putting little bitty tires in the front? Like, that was frowned upon. Like, dudes was, great granddaddies was getting tickets and shit for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Your great granddaddies was going to jail for that shit. White, black, and brown. You know what I'm saying? They was getting harassed, they was getting road tickets, they was getting road. Now some degree, yeah, some more than others. You know what I'm saying? Some caught it way more than others for sure. But in the early beginning, the car culture or the automotive culture as a whole was frowned upon. It was not accepted in society. And then even with motorcycles, it was the same thing. Motorcycles, the whole motorcycle lifestyle. Now you got cornballs and motherfuckers used to say all the time back in the day, like yuppie ass people riding motorcycles and shit, and so then they come in, and then certain shit started to be accepted, certain shit started to be okay, certain laws started to be relaxed. But for a long time, motorcycle riders and motorcycle riders, car clubs, car customizers, and car clubs caught hell for years, for decades. It was never accepted. The way society is tripping on them dudes that be doing street takeovers, that's how society tripped on dudes for lowering their cars, for shaving their antennas, for painting their cars loud colors, for putting hydraulics on their cars, for changing a steering wheel to a smaller steering wheel or a different shape steering wheel. Changing the size of their wheels to a smaller rim so the car sit low. They was getting tickets for having tires too small, getting tickets for cars too low, getting tickets for all that kind of shit. When I came up in the cars, and you know, I'm coming in as a lowrider, I'm getting harassed, I'm getting pulled out of my car, I'm getting put on the ground, and I ain't did nothing. I ain't ran a light, I ain't speeding. You're in the lowrider, how the fuck you gonna speed? I ain't speeding, and it's like, and I'm aware of my surroundings, so if I'm in a certain area, my radio will be like, or it might not even be on because I know I'm in a certain area. I need to, and this is back, you know, when your ride was your only car, you had to drive that motherfucker everywhere. So it's like you know when you in this area, the police be tripping. Turn that shit down, turn that shit off. You just better just turn it off, just ride it when it sounds. You still get pulled off. Still get a ticket for music being too loud, and your shit was out. Still getting pulled out the car, laid on the ground. They want to search your car and stuff like that, and then it's like they ask you, can they search you? You say no, they still searching. You know what I'm saying? But what, you 16, 17, you don't really know all your rights or the magnitudes of all your rights and stuff, and then the adults around you a bunch of coward bitches. And so it's like they not stepping in and being like, why you doing this? You know, all that kind of shit like that. So it's like we had to go through a lot, bro. Like a lot of shit with this car shit just in my generation, let alone when it's all fucking began. So then you get to now, and it's accepting that, like custom car culture, to be honest, really didn't start getting accepted widely until the boomers started getting old, or the generation before the boomers started getting old. All the dudes that was like into the Model Ts and the lead sleds and all that kind of stuff like that, once they started getting old, then certain shit started being relaxed for them. Because now they becoming senators, governors, mayors, or just in the elite crowd, and so now their emotions and their feelings and their opinion have to be taken into consideration. So certain things, certain laws get erased. You know what I'm saying? Certain laws get laxed. Certain things, you know, that was legal ain't illegal no more. You know what I'm saying? And just different, you know, different scenarios. The car culture as a large whole really didn't start getting really accepted to the 2000s. And that's when it started being more of, okay. Like when society seemed like, cause like, let you been riding big rims in 99 and 2000. You was getting pulled up. It didn't matter where the fuck you was going. And ask me how I know. Cause I had Cadillac on big rims in 2002. I think that was 2002, 2001, 2002, somewhere around there. And I had a Cadillac on rims, and I was getting pulled up. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that motherfucker was on 20s. I don't remember the name of the damn rims, but everybody had the damn rim. But shit, you get pulled up in that motherfucker. Like, yeah, they asked me if I'm a football player. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like that shit that we had to go through. And then, you know what I'm saying? And so as time went on, the degree of shit you had to go through starts to lessen. Because for one, society starts to be more accepting of shit. Two, the police kind of can't really go as hard as they did at one point in time. So they just kind of fuck with you a little bit. You know, they don't even write your ticket, just like whatever. But before that, man, called hell. And so when you see certain genres of cars that's still getting that type of flack, like the street takeover dudes that drive the import cars that slam them all the way to the ground with the crazy concave and shit, the dudes with the 4x4 lifted trucks and shit that got the back squatted all the way down. Now the laws is fucking with them the way they fucked with us. And when I first started riding, you know what I'm saying, the way they fucked with us, and it's like, you know, they on their ass, like fucking with them hard. And so then you got other people from the car culture that may be into a more genre that's just more accepted. And so they not really just on you as much. You looking at them crazy. Like, oh, them street takeover guys. You know, everybody been young ones. The majority of the time, y'all talking about some goddamn kids that's just trying to have a good time, that's just trying to really have a thrill. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a few bad apples that go because where the bad apples want to go where everybody else goes. You know what I'm saying? So you have a few bad apples that turn shit into what it really shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? And then that's on them. And it's like, that's them street takeover people. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when you look at the street takeover people, like the dudes that's actually in the car doing the street takeover, who's actually causing the actual problems? And when I'm talking about problems, like the fights, the gun fights, and all this other kind of shit like that be going on, just a lot of damage and all this other kind of shit, it be the people on the outside watching the spectators. It be the spectators. It don't even be the motherfucker who is doing the donut, because 9 times out of 10, the dude that's doing the donut is really just trying to show off his driving skill. The fact that he can sit up there and drift his car in a circle next to another car, next to his homeboy, or next to just a car that was already in there, he thinking in his mind, I can slide in here and slide around and do my thing. And they just trying to show their driving skill. That's really all they trying to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why you done had people that done tried to make actual street takeover events at a place that's off-road, that's like, you know what I'm saying, in a designated location, that's that's legal. Like, you know what I'm saying, in the parking lot, it's legal, the event is legal. You got people who've tried to do that. But it's just still not a lot of financial backing, because like large companies not backing shit the way that they used to back shit back in the day. And if you sit up there and you become a sponsor of something and it ultimately kills somebody, then they looking at you like, why you sponsored that? So it's like now they not being sponsored. So it's like really for them street takeover guys, it would really take them really owning their own shit and doing their own events before it's accepted. It's no different from drifting. Before that, it was drifting. And the drifters, nobody was accepting them. Even in Japan, where the shit came from, nobody was accepting that shit. They went through hell. You know what I'm saying? And so what they end up doing, we gotta take this off the street. We gotta take this off the street. So somebody at some point in time with the drifting took it off the street, because they started going to jail in Japan. They started going to jail. They had warrants out for arrest and shit. Like, you saw in all the documentaries. You know what I'm saying? Look up Midnight Club and look at that documentary. They end up killing somebody. You know what I'm saying? From a car accident, because they drifting down the hill on the drift race going downhill. And so at some point in time, somebody like, man, we gotta take this off the street. And what we got now? What you got now? You got D1. Then you got D1, and then they got D2. Like, they got all these other drifting events now that actually tour. They got one that tours around the world. I remember back in the day, they had one that was just in America, that just toured around a few, 4, 5, 6 states in America, because they was trying to take it off the streets and make it actually sanction the business. And them dudes actually sanctioned the business. They was getting sponsored by companies and tire companies, oil companies, motor companies. Like, they was starting to get sponsored. They was getting sponsored by automakers, because somebody at some point in time was like, man, we gotta take this off the street. And they took it off the street and made it an event. And then once they made an event and they showed that people would come and see the shit, here come the companies. But they, people watch, oh, this shit, we can promote, here they come, they finna come promote. Dudes was becoming household names off that drift shit back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So with the street takeover shit, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, but it's like these kids is young. They ain't really thinking, they just trying to have a good time. And I'm talking about the Pacific dudes that's driving the car. They trying to show that they got skills, they driving skills. And then everybody else turns it into something else. All the people that's watching and all this other kind of shit like that, they the ones who turn it into something else. You know what I'm saying? They the ones who bringing guns and all that kind of shit like that. Because I ain't never seen a situation where the dude in the motherfucking car drift or doing a donut or at the street takeover, pull out a gun and start shooting while he doing the street takeover. The majority of the ones I see, they be doing that shit. They be doing their donuts and then they lose control, they wreck. And then somebody on the outside that was a spectator, her car get hit, now they want to act extra. Now they want to get big bad. Now they want to pull out guns and try to shoot people and kill people. All that kind of stuff like that. So it's like, you know, that's just what it is. But it's, you know, I don't know. I got off topic what I fuck I was talking about. But yeah, but so that's the reason why, going way back to the beginning, this is the reason why I want to make, you know, some videos, because I'm tired of motherfuckers telling our story that ain't a part of it, that ain't been a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And, you know, I ain't saying no names, I ain't talking about nobody specifically, you know, because it's a few of them motherfuckers. So I think I can at least count like 10 or 5 or 10 or some shit like that. Niggas that ain't never built nothing, that they ain't like, oh, you should do this and you should do that. You don't know what you're talking about. A lot of these dudes be posting shit off Google, like they'll Google some shit and then they'll make a whole post about the shit that they don't fucking Google and shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be believing that shit. Motherfuckers be taking their word for it, thinking that they really know what the fuck they talking about. And the true aspect of it is they don't know what the fuck they talking about. They don't even know what they saying will really actually work. They just telling you that's what they saying in Google. That's what they saying on somebody else's video. That's what they saying in the Facebook performance post. You know, some shit like that. These motherfuckers don't really be knowing, bro. They do not be knowing what they talking about.